I'm Jenny Biondo. I am a massage therapist. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and a mom and a wife, and I'm in quarantine just like all of you guys. And I would like to talk about the thing I am most passionate about with essential oils or with all things, is emotions. So first of all, a couple things. One, thanks for motivating me to take a shower today. I didn't wash my hair, but what are you going to do? I'm going to first start off with using Peppermint, which is the oil of confident speech. And I'm just going to take it and take a smell. And I'm going to tip it upside down. I'm going to get a drop on my thumb, and I'm going to put it to the roof of my mouth. Now that helps to fire and wire your left and your right brain, so that when I'm speaking, hopefully this will help me to be a little bit more articulate and speak with confidence. And I love Peppermint very much. And I'm also going to take some lavender, which is the oil of communication. And since I'm communicating to you, I want to be also clear. And I like to set my intention, which is what I'd like to do with all of you. If you have an oil, go ahead and grab it. You can grab your lavender if you want. I'm going to rub my hands together and I'm going to inhale deeply. Please breathe with me. May my heart guide my speech, allow me to be of service, and allow whatever comes through me be something that the collective needs to hear in our wonderful community. So, lavender is all things calming. I'm going to take you through a little bit of what I do since I just took my shower. I'm going to show you every single morning. Some of the routines I do is I take my balance. This is our grounding blend. And balance is amazing for grounding. Hi, Dot. We're just talking about balance. I just used Peppermint to help me with confidently speaking to you all, and lavender for being able to communicate my heart, and hopefully everybody will be able to hear what they need to. So I put the balance on the bottom of my feet, one of my favorite things to do, and then I just rub my feet together, wearing a dress, so I'm going to try not to expose myself. Aloha! So balance is really great. Also, if you're somebody who tends to get a glycemic drop, it's something that will kind of help to balance out your blood sugar. So definitely a great one to have on the regular. Hi, Gloria. We're just talking about, I'm going to be discussing essential oils and emotions, and I'm also going through a little bit of my routine for getting ready after I take a shower, because I did just take a shower. So then I also usually will put Geranium as my deodorant, or tea tree. So these ones are both great for balancing the heart, and I also like to use my essential oils and chakra chart, so possibly we'll go over that a little bit today. But first of all, I have been usually use the geranium in my armpits. It's a pretty strong flower. It's the oil of love and trust, and so I use it. It helps to balance out the heart. Although I've been finding a little bit lately that I use my oils really intuitively, and I really encourage you all to do the same. I have my suitcase here that a lot of people are familiar with, my big oil suitcase, and oftentimes I'll just ground in, and then I'll do it right now actually, and I'll just put my hands over the oil case, and I'll ask for my higher power, my guides, my angels, or whatever you believe in. Tap into the highest spirit, and then I'll just stop and pull where it feels right. And I pulled Cypress, and so then I'll smell my Cypress, and then I like to look in my essential oils and emotions book. Hi, Nicole. And then I'm going to look up what Cypress is trying to tell me, what my guides and my highest self want me to know. So I look up my Cypress, because oftentimes, coming from the hypnotherapy background that I have, our subconscious minds are always trying to keep us safe. So they're helping us to repress and suppress emotions. And it's a defense mechanism that Nicole loves Cypress. It's a defense mechanism that our bodies do in order to keep us to feel safe. But it's really important to feel our emotions and allow them to work through our bodies so that we can move forward. And a lot of times the things that we're repressing and suppressing will actually block us from accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish or feeling the way that we want to feel. So the Cypress right now is letting me know what my highest self, and pulling that oil is telling me to do, is to be in motion and flow. This powerful oil, and I like to, when I read it, smell it, and really try to get the message from the tones from the plant, right? So this powerful oil creates energetic flow and emotional catharsis. Stagnant energies are brought into motion through the fluid energy of this oil. Cypress works in the heart and the mind and creates flexibility. Cypress teaches the soul how to let go of the past by moving with the flow of life. This oil is especially indicated for individuals who are mentally and emotionally stuck, stiff, rigged, tense, over striving, or having perfectionist tendencies. I see why you like it, Nicole. She was just telling us in a call that she did earlier, and Unleash the Priestess. If you guys all want to jump onto that Facebook page, she's an amazing support system and a wonderful coach and shaman. I love her. So you can jump on there. But she was talking about how she's a perfectionist today in that call. And Cypress is going to help work past those tendencies. I'm also a perfectionist. This hard driving stems from fear and the need to control. The individual tries to force things in life rather than allowing them to unfold naturally. Cypress encourages individuals to cast aside their worries and let go of control so they can enjoy the thrills that come from being alive. It reminds individuals that damnation is simply the discontinuation of growth and development, and invites them to step out of the way and allow life to flow freely and without compulsion. Cypress shows how to have perfect trust in the flow of life. So if you're feeling controlled or fearful or perfectionist or rigid or stuck, you can use your essential oil to support you in that. It's also great for UTI. It's something that you can always rub on your bladder area. So that's very helpful for that. Let's see. So that's just one of the things I do. And so what I was starting to say about geranium, normally I use geranium in my armpits. Again, it's a very strong, potent flower. And I've also noticed that it's also a heart opener. So in the balancing out the chakras, it's great for opening up the heart and expanding the heart. But I'm also somebody who leans towards in codependency. I was raised in codependency, so I tend to fall in that category. And when in the state that we're at, and I'm constantly with my family, and I need to make sure that I'm establishing energetic boundaries, instead of using geranium, I'm using tea tree oil, which is the oil of energetic boundaries. And so because tea tree is one that you can apply neat, I just apply a couple drops, rub my hands together, and apply it in my armpits. So if you're somebody who has sensitive skin, or you know that you have sensitive skin, you can also apply it with some coconut oil. I always recommend, when you're using oils topically, to use the fractionated coconut oil, just because you get a little bit more out of your oils, and they also spread a larger area. I noticed that just 2 drops to my armpits undiluted has been fine, and I don't typically smell for the whole day when I do that, and it actually helps to balance out my heart. So another thing that I want to talk about, it's kind of embarrassing, but I've heard that something like 3 out of 5 people or something will experience this, but I'm going to talk about hemorrhoids. I am somebody who gets hemorrhoids, and so I have to make sure that I'm taking the Terrazyme, which is the enzymes that we need to take that helps our body to break down food, especially if we're eating food that is processed. A lot of food I think some people are eating by now are processed foods. I'm definitely going to need to get to the store and get some fresh food. I'm ready for some fresh food. I just ran on mushrooms and I'm like, no, I need my mushrooms. So hopefully we'll be getting to the store soon. But one of the things that I like to do is I have this book called The Secret Language of Your Body. It's an incredible book. And I love to pair it with this book, the Essential Oils and Emotions book, right? This book. So first of all, like just topically for those who do have hemorrhoids, so I've made this like little spray tincture that I use. It's a smaller bottle than this that I use, but I have used fractionated coconut oil, Helichrysum, frankincense, myrrh, and geranium. And every time I get a flare-up, I also want to check in with our bodies. Our bodies are always talking to us. So whatever manifests in an illness or an ailment or something going on with our bodies are telling us something that we need to look deeper at. We need to slow down, meditate, be quiet, go within, ask ourselves questions, and really evaluate where that is coming from and why is it showing up for us, right? So I'm going to look in my book. It doesn't have a really long description of hemorrhoids. It will have like longer descriptions of some other things. But just to give us a little idea, HIJKLM. Okay, so hemorrhoids, inability to let go, a life is unfair attitude, feeling guilty about or uncomfortable with past decisions, very critical of self and others, loss of direction and self-confidence, anger, difficulty forgiving and learning from the past, feeling abandoned and betrayed, holding on to outdated family influences and beliefs and fears. So I'll look up something like that and I'll hear some of the things that it's telling me about hemorrhoids, and then I'm like, okay, what is my body trying to tell me? And where does some of this stuff in here resonate, right? Loss of direction, uncomfortable with past decisions. So I'll take that, or anger. So it did give me an emotion. So it gave me anger. And then a lot of times with your essential oils and emotions book, you'll get a chart like this. So we have this book that usually can come with this if you buy it in a pair. And then I can look up anger in here, right? So I'm going to look up anger on my little chart here. And I'm going to see that some of the oils that I can use to help me to, and it's not, so what happens is our perfect system that wants to help us repress and suppress and keep us safe is continuing to keep that pattern going and that flow going. And so we want to stop that, right? What happens is our brain, our subconscious programming gets obsessed with thinking, right? You think of like a record player and a scratch or a groove in the record player, that the little needle keeps just getting stuck in that groove, right? And so the same thing will happen with us. We'll get stuck in a groove or an old pattern. And what I love about the oils is you can do pattern interrupt. So you can interrupt the pattern. I'm going to interrupt the pattern of maybe anger, right? With some oils that they suggest would be the women's blend. The women's blend is Whisper. So I'm going to take my Whisper. Oh, it's so good. The thing about having all these oils, I forget to use a lot of them sometimes. And I love me some Whisper. Oh, it's just so, so lovely. So I'm going to use my Whisper to help me deal with my anger that I might be feeling. That might be the thing that is triggering hemorrhoids. And so this will help me with blocked or imbalanced female energy, overly masculine, angry or resistant toward women or women issues, repressed sexuality, disconnect from mother. So that's some of the things that Whisper can also help you with. And so then I'll also look at that and think of, so something reminded me of something else in here. So it says female, anger, resistance, masculine, feminine energy. And it just also reminds me of the root chakra. So I think what might be also coming up right now is angry. I'm not able to go see my friends. I miss my community. I miss laughing with my friends. I miss the organic conversations that we have when we communicate, rather than, I don't love doing this like talking head. What I'm doing right now, I would prefer this be more conversational. But I'm doing it. And so this, I could look at this in the chakra system and know that the physical ailments that might come with the root chakra being out of balance would be constipation, lower back, sciatica, issues with legs, feet, knees, groin, hips, ankles, rectal or anal problems, or frequent illness. So then I could check in and also address my root chakra, which would also help with all the other things, angry, more masculine, things like that. So the affirmation, I can smell my whisper, I can put it on my wrists, I can put it on the back of my neck, I can put it on my diffuser jewelry, I can diffuse it in the air and take some long, deep inhalations of the oil, and I can say the affirmation that comes in this chart. And I will also, after I'm done with this, post a picture of this chart. I can say, I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. Because the root chakra is all about survival, security, and stability. So those are some of the things that are being compromised, and where my old programming and my subconscious programming is buying that narrative. It's continuing to tell that story. It's keeping me stuck in that belief system. So I'm going to pattern interrupt with my whisper, which I'm running low on. I need to reorder. I need to put this on my stock up. And then I just rub it together, and I remind myself, I am peaceful, protected, and secure. I'm peaceful, protected, and secure. And then I'll just keep on telling that and interrupt that story instead of going down all the ways and validating all the ways that I might not feel peaceful, or I might not feel protected, or I might not feel secure. And I can look at that and know that it's just an old story that I'm telling that's blocking me, right? So that's some of the ways that I use the essential oils for emotions. And so another thing that I want to talk about that is so incredible, and I'm so grateful, and doTERRA could not have designed this blend in a more perfect time, is the Adaptiv blend. I am obsessed with this. If you ever catch my Insta stories, you know that I'm talking about the Adaptiv blend. Every single day I'm using this. This is a staple. This is a really important Hyalin. This is a really important oil to be using right now on the regular. This roller bottle is only $22. It will last you a very long time. I will wear this little satchel around my waist usually every day now, and I keep my Adaptiv in the pocket, and I'll usually keep like a crystal, a carnelian crystal in that little pocket, and so I have the things, and it holds my phone. So I use this one. A lot of times I like to do a little heart on my heart. It's just reminding me to come from my heart, come from a loving space, to be in forgiveness, to be in hope, to be in faith. And then I'm going to rub it on my wrist. It's fine. It mixes in with the whisper. You don't have to be nervous about mixing your oils. It's so wonderful. And another thing I noticed yesterday is that I was playing a little game called Spot It with my son Scout, and I was winning a little bit more over him, like a couple more cards than he did. And he's like, I don't want to play, I hate you. And he would like jump on me, and he was hitting me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sure he's dealing with similar emotions. Our family members are going to pick up the energy that's coming from us. My husband and I also had a bit of a stressful day yesterday. And then my son is the one that's acting it out, right? And so first of all, I need to stay calm and collected, because he's going to borrow my energy, So I needed to stay just grounded. First of all, he lost TV for the day. He lost his sweet treat, and then I needed some space. So I told him he needed to go to his room for 10 minutes while I cooled off. And I took one of the Adaptiv soft gels, the Adaptiv capsules. They're capsules, and they look like this, just a little capsule. And I took that, and I think I'll take it right now. Why not? Along with all my other supplements I took today. So the Adaptiv helps to produce the GABA in your brain. I just watched a whole scientific breakdown study and how they did this. They talked about the Adaptiv products in clinical trials and studies, and how amazingly beneficial they were for people. I'm not really good at regurgitating science. It's all there. I'm the woo-woo, if I feel it, I know it's true in my body kind of gal. But we do have scientific stuff, and actually they just came out with an Adaptiv app. It also comes in this. So I diffuse this, I roll this on my body every day, and I take this internally. So this is a perfect little emotional support system to use all the time, just in case you get a little overwhelmed by all the other oils that I'm talking about. But I'm going to read to you about Adaptiv in the Adaptiv and Essential Oil book. Let's see here. Hopefully my dog's not running away. She's still here. Okay, good. Okay, Adaptiv was formulated to assist with an anxious state. It imparts reassurance and calm when an individual is caught in a cycle of constriction, tension, worry, solitude, or uneasiness. When an individual has experienced prolonged stress or trauma experiences, the mind-body responds by becoming hyper-vigilant in order to protect them from future harm. This state is anethical. I got dyslexic, guys. So, dyslexia. So, antithetical to well-being and well-functioning. Adaptiv helps individuals adapt to stressors and fears in more clear, constructive, and confident ways. Adaptiv invites individuals to look deeper into the message behind their emotional manifestations and examine where these reactions may be stemming from, which is the root. We always want to get to the root cause. It teaches them to recognize the part of themselves that needs to be given a voice. This blend will partner with an individual in asking the different questions of why they don't feel safe and what part of themselves is in need of attention. It cautions that self-judgment and self-loathing are functions of the inner critic and only inflict future trauma on an already overwhelmed soul. Adaptiv teaches the need for kindness towards oneself and self-acceptance for wherever they are on the journey. Oh my goodness, is this just everything we all need? Adaptiv conveys softly the truth that most of life is beyond an individual's ability to control, and safely is only to be found in the arms of the divine. It reminds the weary soul that the divine has always and will always be there, holding, caring for, and loving them. The innovation from this blend is to not take another step alone when divine love is offering its grace, compassion, and refuge. To lean into Adaptiv asks individuals to exercise faith that they will be carried when they no longer know the way, and to believe they're never alone, which is so incredible right now. Maybe why I'm finding so much solace in this incredible oil. I love it so much. So that's Adaptiv. And another thing I just want to discuss a little bit is, does anybody else feel how interesting it is that just last year the lungs of the world burnt to the ground? I mean, not completely, thank God, but that our world is a reflection of what's going on with us. And so we really, and then the lungs is this virus that's going around is attacking the lungs. And the lungs are about grief and loss. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit about the lungs and about the oil breathe. So the oil breathe is going to be very helpful Just really quick, I want to also tell you some of the oils that are in Adaptiv, if you're curious, are lavender and spearmint, the two oils that I started this talk with. So it's going to really help with communication. A lot of times what we repress and suppress, if we can actually find the words, so it's a really great time to journal. If we can actually find the words to our feelings and our emotions and get them out on paper or talk them over with a friend, we're not a victim of those feelings anymore, and we're allowed to. Once we're expressing them, we feel much lighter. So it has those oils in it. And then copaiba it's like a nerve tonic, and it really helps the nervous system. And it's like a natural CBD oil that's not derived from the cannabis plant, but derived from the copaiba plant, and it is a cannabinoid. And then rosemary is the oil of knowledge and wisdom. And neroli, which is the oil of partnership and really helps in relationships. Another one that I've been clinging to for dear life since I am with my husband 24/7. And, a lot of times when you're with your loved ones, you can love them so much, but they're also going to mirror back to you a lot of your shadows that we're all kind of being faced with in this time of when we can't really distract ourselves much anymore. So, and then another oil is sweet gum, which isn't a usual oil. Oh, and wild orange, which is the oil of abundance. I love wild orange. I use wild orange every day too. I swear I use almost this whole suitcase every day. So I'm not going to talk about every single oil. I just kind of want to walk you through my process and how I work on my emotions, and maybe it can open your mind to work with the oils more intuitively, work with the plants that have been given to us by the Creator and are here to help us and guide us and heal and protect us. So Breathe is this wonderful, incredible essential oil. My husband uses this every morning. He has a deviated septum, so he heats up a cup of hot water and he lets it get all steamy, and then he puts a drop in this and then inhales it deeply. I use it every time I start a yoga practice. I've been doing yoga every single morning with Yoga Galactica, Kundalini Yoga. Also, Fiona has an amazing Kundalini Yoga class on Mondays at 9 o'clock. And Kundalini Yoga is by far the best kind of yoga for me because it really does deal with those emotions. And a lot of times it deals with emotions from like when you were 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, long gone. I don't remember the stories attached to those emotions, but doing the movements that you do in this Kundalini Yoga allows your body to release those stuck emotions that are no longer serving us. So if you want, catch Fiona's class at 9 o'clock on Mondays. She's one of our amazing leaders in this group, and definitely check that class out. So the Kundalini class is great. I like to start the class with Breathe every day, and then I got you, Crow. We're almost done. So the Breathe addresses the inability to let go of grief and pain. I'm almost done. That crow, that pesky crow. So it helps with sadness, grieving, despairing, feeling unloved, constricted, distrusting, or closed. And so you're going to just use your Breathe. Oh, goodness, it is so good. One thing I've been very good at and consistent with since we've been on lockdown is getting my diffuser cranking every single day. In the first couple weeks, I was cranking the diffuser with the On Guard, but now since we haven't gone anywhere, I'm not exposed to like any germs really, except for my family, that I don't necessarily need to be pumping that one all the time, and it's nice to pump other oils that are going to support me emotionally. So the grief and the loss it's serious, and it's something that I think we're all kind of experiencing with being locked up. So that's another beautiful oil to use for emotional support. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to send you any pictures from this book, if you want to get this book. And I highly recommend getting it from this little chart. It has the positive properties on the front and some of the emotions that you can, if you're like, oh, I'm feeling angry and I would like to feel safe. So then I can look at what oils are going to make me feel safe. Clear boundaries would be from clove. I could feel protected from On Guard. Expressive from lavender. Tea tree is going to be the thing that helps with the energetic boundaries. I could use Terra Shield. That's like the bug spray one for self-contained, or juniper berry for courageous. So this is just a really beautiful tool to use along with this tool or this tool. I mean, you could look up anything. Like if I stubbed my pinky toe, I could look up a little pinky toe in this book, and it's going to give me a breakdown of what emotional things I might want to look at. I've heard people before talk about how it's like it's kind of broad, but I think it's always good to go within and to get to know ourselves. I mean, definitely, I'm a huge proponent of self-love and self-care, and being, if we're alone in our homes right now, it's really important to reach out to friends as much as possible. Definitely use these essential oils tools. If we're living with people, again, we're going to be so triggered because they're definitely there for our growth and for our learning. And the oils are an incredible tool to help us push past limiting beliefs, push past different shadows, and to illuminate those shadows, and to bring light to them, and to be comforting and loving and kind to ourselves. So I love the plants as a pattern interrupt in that groove in your mind. And to also, I'm just gonna, because I love wild orange so much, and I'm gonna do a little thing, and I'll probably just close with this. I'm not sure how long I've been on for, but I know I've been talking a lot. But the wild orange is the oil of abundance. So a lot of people, I think, right now may be feeling scarcity mindset or poverty mentality, and it may be catching you into a fight, flight, or freeze, and really triggering your fear. We really, really want to work on our fear right now. We really want to lovingly take the best possible care for ourselves. So wild orange, I'm going to do it right now, is the oil of abundance. So I start thinking, how am I going to pay my bills? I'm not massaging people right now. I'm so grateful for the doTERRA business. Let me give a shout out to the doTERRA business. I'm so grateful for the checks I get for this business. So grateful. If anybody is interested in learning about the doTERRA business, let us know. We'll get you on a business call and just see if it's in alignment with what you're doing in your life. So wild orange, I'm going to do a couple drops in the palm of my hand, starting to feel that scarcity mindset, and I'm going to rub my hands together, and I'm going to think of an orange tree. Instead of thinking about the stories attached to all the reasons why maybe we're not going to make it, or how are we going to take care of this bill, or how are we going to do that? Instead, I just put the wild orange in the palm of my hand. Hi, Jenny. And I think of the abundance of an orange tree, and an orange tree that blossoms so many oranges available. There's an orange tree like right in my eyesight right now. Can I turn this around? Can you guys see it over there? Look at that orange tree. So many oranges on that orange tree. It could, basically, that orange tree right there can service everybody in this neighborhood. Everybody in this neighborhood could get an orange from that tree. Oranges are abundant. Fruit trees are abundant, and so are we. So we can create out of anything. Going to take our wild orange, pattern interrupting that little groove of how are we going to make it, how are we going to survive, and you're going to smell it in, and you're going to just affirm, I'm abundant. I've always been taken care of. I'm going to be provided for. There's infinite possibilities. Money is coming in known and unknown ways. I'm so abundant. And flowers also make me feel very abundant, and there are plenty of flowers. So definitely get outside. And some of us are really stuck inside, and this is a beautiful way to commune with nature without actually getting outside. I still highly recommend getting outside, taking off your shoes, putting your feet in the grass and grounding in, or just laying on the grass and giving yourself up to the earth. She will take care of us. She has our backs, and we can take care of her. And that's another thing I really, really love about doTERRA is their stewardship for the planet and how they take care of, for every plant that they take, for every, like with vetiver, for every little root that they take out of the ground, they plant another root. We have botanists that are tagging trees. If a tree's been over harvested, they will give that tree a break, and then they'll harvest from the other trees. There's just their co-impact sourcing is just so incredible. And we take care of the earth, and we definitely are so lucky to have these wonderful little gifts in a bottle, gifts of the earth, to help support our bodies and our systems, our emotions, and our immune system, physically, emotionally, spiritually. These oils got our backs, and so do I. So if you guys have any questions or want to know any more, please do ask questions. We love you.